Sexual health is your responsibility. It's up to you. Regardless if you have a partner you trust and love, you need to take care of yourself at all times. Get tested frequently. Look out for yourself. If you're suspicious, just introduce condoms again. Kwani konini.
There's these people who actually intentionally catch as many STDs as they can and spread it as much as they can.
Stay away from me.
Whatever their name is.
Whatever their name is. Oh, it's crazy. Like the people who intentionally, like, let's say I get an STD and then I think, you know what? I'm gonna find as many people I can give this STD.
Yeah.
That's a biological weapon. Why? UN should look for you.
The Russians.
Shut you down. Shut that stuff down. There's a shorty on Twitter who talked about she's HIV positive and she's very beautiful. She was saying, I'm HIV positive, but anytime my man wants to sleep with me raw, I let him, because your sexual responsibility is your. I was like,
put that on a billboard.
When I see that,
put that on a billboard.
What? She did
That
not
should
even
be an
start.
advert.
She was like, yeah, why are you sleeping with the people you don't know? She said, get in
Who
the
is
clinic.
she? I have to play that for my brothers.
And she's so gorgeous. Like, I would have fallen for it.
Girl.
I go in, I say I'm here to do full screening and also get my family planning, my contraceptive checked. You guys, the nurse just told me, you see behind that net, sit there, open your legs, because we were starting with the checking of my contraceptive. Called in the other nurse, who was apparently not a nurse, was an intern. So guys, my legs are wide open.
Hey.
There's someone who is doing this inside, like, so you see this and this, and I felt like that was so uncomfortable. If I was a timid young person, I would never go back.
Girl, even I'm not even timid, but why are you giving that Google Maps in my please?
Exactly. So that can be a significant barrier when it comes to young people wanting to seek these services. Also, she happened to be a neighbor. I had never met her, but now I met her around. So I'm just thinking, if I was a young person and I saw that the nurse who treated me at the hospital is my neighbor, I'm probably never going there again.
Do you know that shorty, the shorty I went for at the VCT? At Irono! Oh my god! Okay.
BNN is seeing me coming.
That's what she said.
Hello everybody, welcome to this episode, and today we are talking about sexual health, STIs, STDs. Scary, I know. The famous pap smear and everything sexual health. So I know it's 2025, everybody's sexually liberated, everybody's out there, sensuality is on the topic and everything, but we need to be able to be sexually responsible. And as much as we are having pleasure, we also need to be having what? Protection. So today I am joined by Val and Makeba, and I want them to introduce themselves personally. So tell us your name and why you're excited for today's topic.
Thank you for having me. My name is Valerina Siekuleloju. I am a public health professional, currently doing my master's, specializing in sexual reproductive health and rights. So you already know this is my topic. This is where I belong. Yeah, I'm really excited to be here. Can't wait to have this explosive conversation.
Thank you.
Okay. Hi, my name is Makeba Mutsani. I'm a member of the public. And I'm going to say that I'm just a woman, I'm just a girl, and I'm here to tell my story. And yeah.
So as much as today we're talking about sexual health, I want to know, before we get into the whole STI, can sex be a positive experience for women? And do you think we have a lot of shame towards the sex?
That's a really touching conversation and topic. I believe that sex can be a positive experience for women. However, research and our lived experiences have clearly shown us that it might not be like that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of shame that women carry when it comes to sex, especially when it comes to sexual pleasure.
Yeah.
The fact that it's just, we've been brought up to know that sexual pleasure is for men, orgasms is for men.
Yeah.
So really wanting to
Please a man.
Exactly. So really going for an orgasm has to be a really big thing for a woman. That's why most of us end up faking an orgasm.
Oh, we don't even have one. So personally, like when I was growing up, my mom, and I know she was looking out for me, but she'd be like, just stay away from men. Like, if you don't, just stay away from them. Like, girl, I'm going to be a teenager at one point. I'm going to want to explore, But for them, it's mostly just abstain. If you don't have an STI, just abstain. They're dirty, don't stay. I'm like, wow. So even when they're talking to me, like, there's that barrier. But anyway, I want to know, Makeba, as well, like, what's your experience with?
I had the biggest fear
Yeah.
of men and sex. Like, I was so sure I would like burn in hell or something if I stared at a man for 3 seconds. That thing used to terrify me. So that there was that really big religious guilt about sex and about attraction in itself. And I didn't even know orgasms existed for either party. I just knew plap, 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 get pregnant.
Yeah. And then they also insist that if you just have sex, you're going to get pregnant. Yeah. Like, don't even have it. So I'm like, oh, so there's no contraception. There's no other.
There's no in between.
It's just there.
Yeah. There's also this belief that you can have an STD just from having sex. Like, there's how do I say this? But just because you slept with someone, you're going to catch something. Yeah,
so real.
That's also another myth that I think it gives a lot of people anxiety because that's not everyone is sick, and there's ways to maneuver it. And I mean, there's protection, and I mean, there's education, which we're gonna get into as we go. So I want to know what kind of control methods are there, and how can we minimize infections between whenever we're having sexual relations? Yeah.
Okay, so right now we're speaking about like the different sexually transmitted diseases.
Yeah.
And one of the things you've mentioned a myth. So I want to start this conversation by stating another myth. Another myth is the only way to get a sexually transmitted infection is through sexual contact. But we actually have 2 types of STDs that can be gotten through skin-to-skin contact, which is HPV and genital herpes.
The famous herpes.
The famous herpes, which is a viral STD. It means you're going to have it for the rest of your life. You cannot cure it. You can only manage it. So crazy.
You can get it through kissing, imagine. Like, you know how like people just kiss in the club?
Yeah. Actually, crazy thing. The first time I saw, like, I was going through like a random page, like just on a feed. And I'm like, is it? I don't know which STD I saw in the throat. Me.
Gonorrhea or something. Yeah.
Just gonorrhea in the throat. You sure that ain't tonsillitis, please?
And the pictures are gruesome. Have you seen STD pictures?
So
with the mouth sores, even any symptom that goes on the groin, on the penis, or on the vagina, those pictures are so gruesome. It's just like. You asked about prevention. The pictures itself. Prevention.
Actually, that fear alone makes me want to take my sexual health seriously. Like, I think I've been reckless before and I got a scam. And guys, don't Google your symptoms. Don't Google your symptoms. At the end of the day, don't Google your symptoms because wow, I was dying. Oh my god. I had at that time I was in a relationship and I'm gonna really expose you. It was very promiscuous. Yeah, you. So I ended up catching at that time I didn't know it was a UTI. I didn't know it was a UTI. I'd never like this is something my mom never told me. In school even as well, sex ed was just HIV. It was mostly the focus was just HIV. So I ended up getting a UTI and it's the worst. If you've gotten a UTI, guys,
the scratching inside your pocket.
Okay, the scratching.
Bro, what? Am I the only one?
You had something else. I'm joking. But is it a symptom? Scratching?
Yeah, like UTI.
Yeah.
There's some UTIs that really make you scratch. So most of the time, we got it in high school most of the time because of the toilet.
Yeah.
So you'd scratch so bad you'd even put your hand inside your skirt pocket so that you can scratch and people don't see.
Imagine having long nails.
And like, it's not even just UTIs.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I get like a pH imbalance of sorts
Yeah.
down there. So I'm just trying to exist. I'm like, okay, do I have an STD from nowhere? Do I have a UTI? Is this death?
But
Should I just pass away?
Why does the brain immediately say gonorrhea? Like,
wow.
Gonorrhea, syphilis, those two.
There's a chlamydia on the side. So I remember like starting to experience symptoms. I'm still in uni. And I'd have a fever. I've never had a fever out of nowhere. And I remember just being so thirsty and not being able to go to the toilet. Like I have a burning sensation and I can't go. And I sat down and I said, he given me AIDS. He's given me AIDS, yeah. My story ends here.
AIDS and not the financial one.
So I could not speak to my mom. I had to call a doctor friend, a really good friend of mine, and I called her and I told her, I explained to her everything. You know, when a doctor pauses and says, "Was it protected?" You say, "Oh, and I can't lie to a doctor." So she said, "I think you should go for a HIV test," and I said, that was actually, no one talks about how scary taking a test is. Even if you know you're negative, like like anyone in this room right now cannot take a HIV test to cure.
Please,
no.
I want to do it alone first before we come here.
It's really, it's something. So the anxiety was through the roof. I did the test. It came out negative. And she was like, that's good. I'm thinking maybe herpes as well. Because I started having pimples on my face. But there was just bacteria reacting with my skin. And I didn't know. So I decided, you know what, enough. I had to stop school. I called my mom. I told her everything. I said, I need to go to hospital and just get a full screening. I did the pap smear thing. I was anxious. My goodness. I was angry at myself. There's a lot of shame with, why did I let that happen? I should not even have had sex. I should have even been dating, you know. But that's not the case. I think we can have pleasure with safety, you know. That experience is what taught me that you can protect yourself as well as have fun. But anyway, I got tested. My urine sample was taken, and they found that I had bacteria in my urine. And that was like, so the lady explained to me, this is a UTI. It was very persistent. Those things do not go away. It's just water, garlic, water, you know, cranberry, nini. But I'm happy for that. Not happy. I'm grateful for that experience because it made me take my sexual health so seriously. Right now, even when a guy says hi, I say, do you have condoms? Could a condoms go back? Yeah. So have you ever had a similar experience or a personal experience where you had a scare?
So the year is 2017. We've just started seeing each other with this guy, and a really nice guy. I'm still seeing him right now. So said guy calls me when campus with Lincoln second year. He calls me and he says, you gave me gonorrhea. I said, babe, what?
Who?
Huh? Who? But I'm also not being safe out here.
Yeah.
So I'm like, maybe I actually did give this guy gonorrhea. And I say, how did you know that you have gonorrhea? He goes on, gonorrhea in women is asymptomatic. Asymptomatic means that it does not necessarily show signs. In men, it does. So I'm already thinking to myself, yeah, I probably do have gonorrhea. I gave it to this guy. I just don't know. I'm already thinking I picked it from somewhere else. I carried it with me. I brought it here. I'm already thinking this is a really good guy. And so he says he's angry, okay? Because you would definitely be angry. Because you, where you're seated, you're like, me, I'm not playing outside. So this is the only person who is playing outside. I go ahead. I go to the hospital. I remember that day we were with my sister. When he called me, I was telling my sister, oh my God, babe, I have gonorrhea. I've had all these things about gonorrhea. You see, the worst part about having medical information is it heightens the anxiety. I already know that my uterus can be removed because of gonorrhea. I'm already thinking, I already have baby names. Who am I going to give those to? So I go do my test. I'm negative. So I'm coming back. I'm thinking, this guy is the one who is playing outside and he got himself gonorrhea. But I'm young, I'm 19, I don't know how to navigate this particular discussion where I want to say, I don't have gonorrhea, you have gonorrhea. So how did we get here? False alarm, guys. Turns out he was just having pain during urination. And he did the same thing he did. He Googled, instead of going to the hospital, he Googled, it showed you have gonorrhea. My guy, we might be cutting off your penis. So
the family jewels were about to be lost.
Gone. So when I think back, we laugh right now.
It's funny.
Right now it's actually just funny because when you think back to it, actually what it speaks to us is it reminds us that we've come a long way with our communication because back then that's not a conversation we would have been able to navigate because we broke up. He actually broke up with me over a text because he was so sure. I didn't come back and tell him I did have gonorrhea. I just went silent. So he was like, you don't even care about our health. You're supposed to have done these tests. He broke up with me over text. So I never got to explain myself. But there's also the bit of navigating STDs in relationships, which I'm hoping that we'll be able to talk
Talk
about.
about, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to know, have you had a scare before?
Not necessarily a scare, but I'd like to say with that guilt and shame and oppression, I did not say anything that was happening downstairs. Like, there was this whole period of time where I would have a lot of pain, like pain during urination. I'd have bloating, extreme bloating. I'd have so many random symptoms, a rash, and I'd shut the fuck up. Am I dying inside? Yes. Do I talk? And to find out that I had a UTI for like almost several months. I'm just walking around with a UTI because I could not be bothered to tell anyone. I was just like, oh, yeah, it burns, but like, maybe I didn't drink enough water. Maybe I need to do something about it. And like, that really messed with me to a level because I'm like, I'm the only one having this issue. What did I do wrong? Whose toilet seat did I sit on? And I had an extreme fear of STDs. Forget about like a fear like, oh no, I might catch it. No, like I was scared of toilet seats. I was scared of people's drinks. I was scared of anything. Contact. Hypervigilance. Like in high school, I would not touch anyone's bottle. Pen. Like mtu utafuna pen. Siwezi shika pen yako. Siwezi shika anything yako. And so with that, I had like a lot of fear and stigma, and already I'm going through something, and turns out it's a UTI, and later on I found out I had PCOD. So it was just, it's hard, and I really advocate for talking about it more. So I don't have a necessary scare, but I have how it feels to live with that fear constantly.
I love that you've touched on shame because I was comparing our society, like the African society. Okay, I'd speak as from a Kenyan POV, but I think a lot of African women go through this. The Western world is so different because there's so much openness to talking about what happens down there. Even with their parents, there's a lot of transparency. They're given condoms at the age of 16. They're told like, you know what, safe sex, whatever. But us, it's like, don't go next to men. You're shamed if you do, like you're a promiscuous, and maybe you're just exploring your sexuality at the right of legal age. So I want us to talk about the African shame and cultural debunk because it keeps a lot of young girls in this silence that I don't like, because we end up having women with a lot of STIs or STDs, and they're progressively getting worse. For example, like her, she had a UTI and she didn't know that could be a kidney failure.
Yeah, it would.
So how do you feel as Africans we are failing our young girls and boys?
I would start by, one of the things that really never sits well with me is the fact that if a girl has sex, I'm using the word girl because you're below 18 and you're in school, you're in Form 2. If you do engage in sexual intercourse and you get pregnant, you're the only one who gets expelled from school.
The boy is learning.
The boy is learning.
Na anakuwa daktari, by the way.
The boy is learning. Like, that's one big aspect of shame that comes with it.
The ghetto.
Number 2, the patriarchy. Patriarchy really pushes for shame.
Yeah.
Because then what it does, it puts us on a beam. The men are up here and the women are down here. Anything that the men do is excusable. Okay? We're not going to call you promiscuous just because you got me and my sister pregnant. No. But me and my sister, we are promiscuous because how could you get pregnant by the same guy who hasn't married you? But for the men, there's no shame that comes with that. So you know what that does? Because then we internalize such things when we grow up, is we grow up with the shame of holding back such things. That's why at this day and era, we're still speaking about 80% of women not having ever experienced an orgasm.
Yeah.
That is shame. Yeah. So I definitely think it's a really big part of why we have one of the highest incidences of HIV and AIDS, of STDs, because these are things that could be that are preventable, but are not, because we are simply not having these conversations. We are hiding in the shadows. Yeah.
That's what she said. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
How do you feel her?
Crazy thing I wanted to say, and I have changed people. I was a perpetuator of the shame. Like, if a girl came to me with a sexual story in high school, I'd be like, I'm judging? What do you mean? At 16?
Aren't
How
we
dare
babies?
you? Aren't we children? And I was in a Catholic high school. So there was already that shame, because Catholic high schools are intense. They are very intense. There's this extreme purity culture that comes with it.
Purity culture.
Yeah, purity culture. And so when I felt like better than somebody else when they talk about their sexual experiences, not knowing it's not a competition, girl. Even if I won, quote unquote, what did I win? What have I, like, there's nothing that I'm getting out of this.
Literally.
I would have this idea in my head where I'm like, if you engage in sexual activities, if you explored your attraction to people, if you had a sexual life at a younger age or even older, I would start thinking, oh, you're dirty. And you know, it comes from that aspect of STD. Like, oh, you're dirty. Oh, you probably caught something. Oh my God, what did you do? You're probably, I'm above you.
Yeah.
I'm above you because I didn't do that. But sitting here now outside of school, I was like, what was that? Girl.
Who was that?
Who was that? Not me, please. And with that, I have to insist the purity culture is horrible. It is horrible.
It's the ghetto.
Yeah, it's ghetto. And I hate it so much because there's two aspects to it actually. Though you said the word ghetto, it's reminded me. Kulikuwa na hii trend ya, oh my God, I can't remember the name. But girls like in the ghetto would talk about getting pregnant or doing sexual things, and then they'll be like, we don't care, we get pregnancies. What you're getting there, right?
Yeah, you know that TikTok that we'll catch it.
Yeah, we'll catch it at some point. And I would see those, and you know, they're fighting against the purity culture, but in an extreme way. Because let's say I get assaulted or I engage in sex, I suddenly start thinking, oh, I'm dirty, so might as well do everything. Might as well. I'm already off the pedestal. Might as well swim around in the bottom on the floor. And in the other extreme, there's this sense of, I'm on the pedestal. I must protect the pedestal. I must not even think. And I must push down anyone else who tries to get on this pedestal. And so it brings about this dangerous silence. Nobody talks about anything. Even if I was to let's say, I didn't know about this, about women not getting orgasms until you told me. I was like, oh wow, people are suffering. In marriages, people are having a hard time. And since I'm coming out of that purity culture mindset, it's a journey. Let me just say it's a journey. And I get to see how toxic that whole thing is. Like, you don't have to think you're better than somebody else to live. You really don't.
Based on their biological needs is also diabolical. Shaming people based on their biological needs. Yeah, it's very much.
Speaking of the purity culture, I mean, where do we draw the line between okay, for example, like Christian women, there's like a reward for being pure. Where do we draw the line between, okay, sexual responsibility and exploring your sexuality? Like, what I want to understand is, I want to hold us accountable. Yes, we're doing the most, but
No, I'm with you with it.
like, okay, we're exploring, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's smart to have more than 3 partners, and okay, even if you are, let's be protected at all times.
At all times.
Okay, so there's a time I was in need of prevention. Let me just say it was PEP, yeah? I wanted to find out about it before I knew that person's status. I was not in contact with them. And so I remember going to a VCT. Oh my God. A counseling room. It was in KNH. I don't even know if that lady remembers me. Do you know? It was a public hospital. So I've gone there. Everyone's sitting there, first of all. It's like the people who are there already used to coming. I think they were coming for their drugs. They're already used to it. They're chilling. My heart is in the toilet. I'm just like, whoa. This is pre-counseling. I already knew I have this thing. I don't know what to do. I needed medication. But anyway, the people sitting next to me were pretty chill. And they were fine. So I called this lady. The lady comes in. She's like, how can I help you? I'm like, hey, I have a STI. I don't know this person's status. It was a mistake. I was drunk. I don't know what to do. She said, okay, just wait for me there. I'm going to call for your counselor. I waited in that line like crazy. Like, woo, so many people out there. Getting into the counseling room, I've never experienced that anxiety in my life. And you know, they never make it easier. They're always like, oh, we're here for you. Don't worry. You're not here for me. I'm sorry.
You said this script so many times.
I know, you're like, okay. And so they're always like trying to do their best to keep it cute and nice. But I'm just like, oh my God. I kept asking her, so let me ask, if this happens, does it mean I have it? If this happens, she's like, okay, do you know that? I'm like, no. She's like, just relax. Even if you have it, we'll just know how to navigate it. I said, I don't like how you're speaking to me.
Yeah.
And in that room is when I realized we always think other people are capable of contracting these things. Until you're in that position and you're like, damn, I'm really here. I'm really in the line.
This is real.
I'm really at the counseling room. And I'm really talking about almost contracting this STD. And so I've seen also a lot of people say, Ati, this thing is a Western disease. Ati, Luos pekendo. Ati, I can't date alone, they have HIV.
Oh God, that's crazy.
We're all human. And if we don't take care of ourselves, it's possible for anyone as much as we learn it. But anyway, I wanted to know, have you ever gone for counseling, and what is this experience like for you?
Okay. So I would say that I first of all agree with you. You know, the anxiety of getting like a HIV test. It's like, or was I passing somewhere and then a metal cut me that had cut someone else who had like AIDS, and like, what if I got HIV like some time back, but the symptoms are not yet here with me? It's like one of those things, you know, like when you do like KCSE, like when you send that message, whatever message comes back, that's the grade you have. That's the grade.
It's your results.
It's your results.
Actually,
There's nothing you can do.
Actually, until I was like 12, 14 years old, I always thought in the back of my mind, what if I was born with HIV and I don't know? What if it's waiting for 12 years and then
Exactly. That's the feeling. So for me, because I implement programs on sexual reproductive health and rights. So when I was employed in Kajiado, we were doing a program where the goal was to have more young people seek sexual health services. So I decided that I wanted to test out the Kajiado Referral Hospital specifically to see whether it's youth friendly. What does it feel like for young people to go in, say they want to get screened and blah, blah, blah. So I went in. First of all, there were 3 nurses in the room. I just don't understand why the same procedure room is the same room where we're doing registration. And I'm a loud person, okay? So I'm just thinking about everyone else who is not loud, who is introverted. You'd probably go back right from the door.
Yeah.
I go in, I say, I'm here to do full screening and also get my family planning, my contraceptive checked. You guys, the nurse just told me, you see behind that net, sit there. Open your legs, because we were starting with the checking of my contraceptive. Called in the other nurse, who was apparently not a nurse, was an intern. So guys, my legs are wide open. There's someone who is doing this inside, like, so you see this and this. And I felt like that was so uncomfortable. If I was a timid young person, I would never go back.
Girl, I'm not even timid, but why are you giving that Google Maps in my hua, please?
Exactly. So that can be a significant barrier when it comes to young people wanting to seek these services. Also, she happened to be a neighbor. I had never met her, but now I met her around. So I'm just thinking, if I was a young person and I saw that the nurse who treated me at the hospital is my neighbor, I'm probably never going there again.
Do you know that story? The story I went for at the VCT? At Rono! Oh my God! Okay.
BNN is seeing me coming.
So I want us to debunk any myths that we have towards sexual diseases. What is a myth that is there towards sexual diseases?
One which I saw and I thought it was the wildest thing is you can cure an STD by sleeping with a virgin.
People perish due to that knowledge.
I was like, do virgins have some magical properties? And it was crazy, like, to sit down and see it, and I'm like, how many dudes
believe
how
this?
Many women believe this and just going asking, are you a virgin? You know, it's for my faith or it's for what? Kumbe tu anataka tu kujaribu. Aoneka itapotea ama ita flow away or something. And it's such a frightening thing.
That sounds like purity culture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The whole virgin thing is
Like,
it's crazy.
naomba kujiondoa.
Kidogo. I think also another myth that is there is women are more promiscuous than men. Or a woman is promiscuous because she slept with a man. We're not slut-shaming men enough. I think we did tell you you're a loser. In fact, you're sleeping around. And that's your community, dick. And that is something we need to look into.
Actually, I make a point to slut-shame men. You come to me, I slept with so-and-so.
I like you.
You don't respect yourself.
Exactly.
You don't respect yourself.
Imagine we call like us these, men actually brag about sleeping with multiple women. Like it's a badge of honor. And the minute a woman says like, who do you think you are?
Who do you think you are?
Actually, you reminded me of this like lesson when I was younger. I got a lot of sex ed, and I'm actually grateful for that. But the type of sex ed, surely, I was told like, your virginity or you down there is like a piece of tape. When you use it the first time, it sticks well, it removes. When you use it again, it sticks somewhat okay, it removes. The more you keep going, the more it's just loose now. It's really
of the sweet story. And if you take a sweet and you like it, and I give you the sweet, you want what the hell? Human being.
So sometimes even I tell her, I'd be like, the more you have sex, the smaller it will get. It starts shrinking because it takes the shape of every woman. Now it keeps taking different shapes, and then now it will put there.
Women
What is sex ed? They should be arrested.
Now, I am messing. That was my own idea, actually. I was like, I will mess with you too. Like, there's no way I get to go through this alone and you don't. I will scare you too.
For sure, though.
And it's horrible. The sex ed sometimes that people give
Leads to misinformation, which is a lot online, which I hope we will touch on the misinformation that is online. One myth is that you can tell when someone has an STD. Surprise.
Is it written on someone's forehead?
Surprise. Like a fun fact about STDs, I already said some are asymptomatic, but even the ones that show symptoms, it can take time.
Yeah, yes. Okay.
So you can just carry it.
Imagine.
Yeah.
So like even the doctor was telling me for HIV that people who even a whole year will go negative, but they have it. I was like, what?
That's
Wow,
so scary.
you're telling me I'm not out of the woods. Wow. After I've celebrated, my heart has come down. You're like, oh no, you still have a year and it might just come back.
It might really just come back. Yeah. If I could just add another myth, is that, and this myth really ties down to misinformation, is that all STDs are transmitted through vaginal intercourse only. But that's not the truth. There's multiple ways in which STDs can be transmitted, which you might think you're preventing yourself because you're only taking care of one part of sex, which is the penetration. But there's other multiple avenues of transmission that are open that you're not taking into account, which is really dangerous. I.e., kissing in the club, as you said.
Yeah, you're gonna catch herpes. So oh my god, that is this, like, we can't win with sex. Like, we really can't. When do you relax?
Stray bullets.
Okay. I have a question for you, you guys. What do we do now? So what do we do to be safe? Because do you go screening with the person? Make sure they're before you kiss them in the club, you chuck the club, you go, you scream,
Go scream.
then you come back. Like, what?
It's a cute second date.
We need like those self-test for HIV, the way that people can do like a self-test in the house. Yeah, you probably need one of those in the club.
Okay.
Negative.
No, wait, negative. Come back next year.
True though.
Yo. I think another myth is, okay, not a myth. I've realized that women are held responsible for the consequences of the irresponsibility. So you have raw sex with a man. The man does not give a flying monkey where uko hapo, either pregnancy or not even, it doesn't have to be a disease, maybe pregnancy or even just a UTI. Most men don't care. Like, that was you, a projection. What's your projection?
There's this one thing guys do that when my girlfriends tell me about it, I feel like I will actually lay you down, take out a belt and beat you on that floor.
And waterboard.
Exactly. Ati, he told me he's never done it without a condom before. He just felt different with me. He had to do that with girl.
But maybe he was tall. I mean,
Could actually get a heat of the moment, and I hate that bitch. Oh, I hate that mama. Heat of the moment is the ghetto because it like we really, in the moment you're thinking through emotions. You also you're a biology, like the biology is, your reproduction is demanding to procreate.
yeah.
So you're not even thinking logically. So it's good to just please have that condom on the table. Watch it go apple at all times, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you also mentioned, so what do we do? We're speaking about all these stray bullets that we're catching because of sex, and now we are really spotlighting STDs. So how do we go about it? So you've mentioned, one, do we go screening with your person before you guys get into the relationship? I believe that's one of the ways when it comes to preventing and managing STDs is to really get that test at the very beginning, which we know does not happen.
It doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen. I would actually be very strong on people should be doing STD and STI screening, HIV screening. But me, myself, from book to practice
Normal.
is very, very hard.
Especially a new relationship. Like, I just caught you. I just caught you. And then now I tell you, let's go to
All this pressure.
let's go to a VCT. Bro, I can barely tell you I want to go to the toilet.
I'm already
True. Very like closed and tense. You know how that hyperness of a new relationship is like. You're trying to be perfect. You're trying to, make this impression. You're excited. It's all fun and games.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh wait, let's check if we have a
STD, I don't know.
Yeah. Me as the guy, I think I'm a bounce.
exactly.
So
Because you
doubting
start
herself.
scaring me. I start
Yeah.
thinking, do you have one? Do you have a reason to start doubting?
Yeah.
And it's because we put that stigma around it. So I'll start thinking, why?
Exactly.
Why are you telling me to go?
Yeah. And also screening is not as accessible as we would want to think. Because guys, if you go to the hospital, say you there's this thing, it's called triage, the thing that you do immediately, you get to the hospital, like they test for your blood pressure and stuff. We're tested for HIV, right? Like through and through. But screening of STDs is not in the, what do we call it? In the normal, that triage test. You literally have to ask for an STI, STD screening. So this already means it's not cheap. It is not readily available. Testing takes time. The different type of tests. Like a HIV test, we will put the test here immediately.
200 shillings.
Yeah, immediately we already know.
In, out.
But like STIs, it means if I am in rural Kajiado, we probably don't have the machine for screening for this STI. Now, I do mean I go all the way to Kajiado town to get STDs.
Then I go that far.
Yeah.
Socioeconomic, when we touch something so real, socioeconomic differences, poor people do not have that access. And I think the message we should pass to them is try your best to abstain, and if not, condoms need to be accessible to these people at all times.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's something I really wanted us to talk about. Being in a relationship and sex ed. Just because you're faithful doesn't mean Gaga is faithful. Newsflash. Yeah.
You will be surprised.
You would be surprised. You imagine that people I know, I have a friend who's, and I'm let me not say that because now you guys will know. There's someone I know whose partner gave them HIV. The man went outside of the marriage. He gave her HIV, then he died, and now she lives with HIV. It happens. And that's why sexual responsibility. I mean, sexual responsibility is sexual health is your responsibility. It's up to you, regardless if you have a partner you trust and love. You need to take care of yourself at all times. Get tested frequently. Look out for yourself. If you're suspicious, just introduce condoms again. Kwani konini. Yeah.
Mi ni mtu mkubwa. Utanichapa. I'm just thinking about the anger that you definitely have after someone breaks the trust. And I think there's a really big perspective of STDs that is together with trust. Because we're in a relationship. This was supposed to be two of us trusting each other. But not only did you put our relationship in jeopardy, you put my health in jeopardy for something that I'm going to have to live with for the rest of my life. That anger can translate into so many bad things.
Yeah, that's actually dramatic.
Yeah.
Because heartbreak in itself is hard. Like already knowing that your partner went outside of the relationship or the marriage or whatever's going on. And then now you have a badge to walk around with about it. So it just feels, it comes with that idea of,
it's a lot to process.
I'm angry. Like first you're angry, you did this to me, and then gave me more consequences to have to deal with. It's almost like, hata ungenipea mtoto pia, like afadhali hadi mtoto sasa, at this rate.
Hot take. Because
a child, it can be like, I will love this child. I can get past this. But the way STDs are not properly talked about, they're not properly worked around, it's so much harder. I feel like it would be so much harder to wrap around that idea and not constantly have to be like, this is my body, but there's a part of you that's always lingering. Wherever I go, there's an aspect, it will always be lingering. Whenever I enter a new relationship, you are there in the back of my mind, in my bloodstream. You get that idea.
Okay.
There was a point in time I was actually scared of pregnancy more than STIs. Like, what the hell? I was actually sleeping with this guy. I was so young. Oh my God. I was like 19. Just one boyfriend I've had, but like, we didn't ever speak about screening or like getting tested. And our only concern was just not getting pregnant. That's wild.
It is.
That's
But I
wild.
think it's
It
because
is.
like babies are expensive.
No, I actually think it's because babies can be seen. Like, you carry your shame. I'm not calling kids shame, but I'm speaking from like the society perspective. Before you roast me, guys, like cancel me. With pregnancy, we can see a child be able to say, Makeba went ahead and had sex before marriage. That's shameful. She doesn't even know this is like a baby from the wedlock. But guys, if I have gonorrhea, who will ever know?
Yeah.
Who will ever know? Yeah.
And these people actually, oh my God, I forgot the name. There's these people who actually intentionally catch as many STDs as they can and spread it as much as they can.
Stay away from me.
Whatever their name is.
Whatever their name is. Oh, it's crazy. Like the people who intentionally, like, let's say I get an STD and then I think, you know what? I'm gonna find as many people I can give this STD to.
Yeah.
That's a biological weapon.
Why? You went should look
Yeah,
for you.
the Russians.
Shut you down. Shut that stuff down.
And that's actually scary. When I heard about this kind of
There are
guys.
people like that, but then they got HIV and they now do revenge.
Yeah.
A lot of people, especially in the 90s, Kina Freddie Mercury,
Yeah.
those guys, which brings me to same sex. Same sex, especially for men, catch the most STDs.
Yeah.
And it's important because the bloodstream is very like right there.
Yeah.
It's important to take your sexual health seriously. If you know you're, LGBT, queer or LGBTQ, it's good to really protect yourself. And do not revenge, guys. If you know that, like, at the end of the day, if you know you caught it, I think it's a personal journey. Like it's a personally, I wouldn't. Like, I can't.
Personally,
I wouldn't.
You would? What?
Cause have you seen the anger? That's like I feel like that's
Yeah.
one of the ways that my anger would probably manifest. Cause if I'm going down this drain,
Everybody's going with it.
Everybody's going.
everybody is coming with me.
The whole village is gone.
Please. But I'm just saying, that's
But you know,
It's
Val,
That's an
respect.
anger response.
I'll justify that if you got it from, let's say, if you got it as punishment. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you got it from someone you trusted.
yeah.
I would understand that.
But if I got it myself,
You for real. But hey, it's a lot. It's a lot. I think even after diagnosis, a lot of people suffer with internal issues. It's not even about the disease. I don't think they don't worry even about the disease. It's just the shame and like the emotions and the processing and just going back into society. Like, who am I before? I was someone before this STD, but you'll be someone after.
Yeah.
You're still whole. I think people really shame themselves into, now I'm dirty and nobody likes me.
yeah,
You're still whole. Even
ties
after.
back to shame.
Yeah.
Ties back to
Actually,
shame.
like, there's so much shame around sexual topics that it should be debunked. Because, like, I have PCOD and trying to explain.
So I do not know what PCOD is.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, loves. PCOD is polycystic ovarian disorder.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, my testosterone levels are a bit higher than they should be, but lower than it would be problematic. So my the cycle is not cycling. Like, this is not normal, ladies. Your cycle should not be more than 5 to 7 days. Please don't be me. If it goes on for a month, get checked. If you have blood clots larger than a coin, get checked. That's actually the thing that got me to hospital. Like, these the normal blood clots. The clots were like the size of my palm. I was like, this is my uterus.
You could have totaled
The example.
Yeah, is this my flesh coming out? And when I had it checked, they were like, oh, you have PCOD, not PCOS, because there's a difference. Mine is just like less of a problem. So they're just like, oh, go on birth control for a few months and stop. So sometimes I'd mention to somebody, I'm like, oh, I forgot to take my pills. Like, what pills? Oh, like this is birth control. And then they're like, why are you taking birth control? Why are you on birth control? Like, now I can't even say birth control. I usually just say, oh, hormonal pills, hormonal pills.
That's to
make
make
it sound demure.
Yeah.
Make it sound cute. But that shame is such a problem. So I'm even imagining if somebody's trying to take like STD medication, you can't even take it in peace. You have to like hide,
Yeah.
because unajificha, you're trying to take like, the hormonal pills look so, no, me carrying my trauma onto the set. The like birth control, it's so distinct. There's like these pills and there's the red ones at the end. I'm imagining if you have other medications, like now for STD, you have to keep hiding them. You have to keep featuring. Even there was somebody I knew who had to use menopausal medications. I don't remember what specifically, but they had to really hide them. And menopause is such a normal thing. It's so normal. So it's not even just STD. It's just sex.
In general.
Sexual reproduction for women.
Mm-hmm.
It's so hidden. And did you guys actually know it's under-researched?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
recently is when they actually started testing pads with actual blood.
Yeah.
I was so pissed when I found that out. I was like,
Now you've made me pissed on set.
But this is why we're doing it, to spread a lot of awareness, Manze, to reach people and, push for change and development.
Yeah. You spoke about same sex and STDs. and STDs. And fun fact is we have gay men and then we have men who have sex with men. So
you called them out.
there's literally a distinction that is put on paper.
Yeah.
That there's people who are gay men and then there's men who have sex with men. And you know what that means is that because the chances of STDs being transmitted between men having sex with men is higher, and we have this whole bunch of people that we are saying are men having sex with men. We're not calling them gay. We just don't want it to look like a pandemic, but it's been shown that we have quite a big number of men who have sex with men. Do you know who these men are? They are men they are now men in relationships with women. So this particular cycle is vicious, and it continuously just moves, and we keep thinking it can never be me. I can never be the one who is. When someone gets AIDS, we're like, oh, she was dumb. Or when someone gets like an STD, oh, she was careless.
Yeah.
But literally, the thing about health, we have multiple adverts that talk about the harmful, like they talk about AIDS, for example, right? Does it naturally translate to people caring about their health? No. And even if it happens to someone next to you, even that might not be a
Yeah.
still.
Yeah.
So
Which is crazy.
it has come home. It has knocked on the door.
It's knocking. It's literally the neighbor.
It is.
It's waving at you.
Yeah, and even when you say that people can have STDs transmitted from one person to another in a relationship, the reason why most of us don't even go for screening with our partners, it's like, I've never caught Rono cheating on me, so this could never be us.
Ama, we tested that one first time and we're okay now.
Yeah, we are okay now.
Oh, your guy is gay.
God, those guys' nights were not actually what you thought.
They're not boy nights.
The boy night.
Let's not get there.
How do we live after diagnosis? And how can we support those who are already diagnosed? Personally, I would say, because I know someone in my life who does, I make it as free and open as possible. I just create that forum for them to just, talk about it, or I kind of desensitize. A lot of people are like, oh, you have it, you have the gonorrhea. And I'm just like, you know what, it happened, it's fine, you're still whole. How can we navigate this? It's normal. And just be there for them as much as I can. So creating those safe spaces for them, I think is a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing, yeah. And normalizing. Yeah, let's normalize sexual health, please.
Please, and thank you. And also informing yourself more on something in particular. It's you're not coming in with personal biases, because we already have personal biases within ourselves. You're not coming in with personal biases. You're not coming in with misinformation, and misinformation and personal biases can really create fear around something, just because you heard that someone who had AIDS died at this particular point, or gonorrhea got their uterus removed. So you're coming on this conversation and you're bringing all these personal biases and misinformation, you're only further excavating this particular situation. So I think it's very important when we are trying to create safe spaces for people who have already been diagnosed to come in with come in right, come in with the good proper information that is able to propel us forward rather than kutuweka hapa, we are really just stuck on this. It's a problem, this is what is gonna happen. How can we move forward?
And also be a girl's girl.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
Something I saw from women in the West, they are so open.
Yeah.
And it's actually a good thing to some extent. Here we see it like, it's very, how can I say? I can't find the exact words, but it's not right to be this open about the things you're going through. But I find it as a way that they can express what's going on. They can get help as soon as possible. Like there's this one story I saw where this one girl had a tampon get stuck. Like the string fell out. So she had like, I think 5 of her friends fight to get it out. Any 5 of your friends are here. It's a group project. We
She
are
had
trying
a
to get
birthing
it
experience.
out. It must be a jarring experience. But I loved how they have this sense of, I can tell you
Openness,
things.
yeah.
There's openness. And you can even see it in their shows. You can see it in films. Like there's this one film I watched where a dude caught something. No, it wasn't a dude. The girl caught something and gave it to a dude. And her friend was really pushing for her to tell the dude. She was like, as much as, okay, you may hate him or whatever, you just have to tell him. Because ataendelea labda ape mtu mwingine asipojua imlete kesi baadaye, or just there's that sense of, guys, this is a thing that's happening. Burying it will not make it disappear. Actually, I want to repeat that. Burying it does not make it disappear.
In fact, it grows.
Compounds
What
it.
you resist will always persist. Yeah.
Like the idea of not teaching teenagers about sex. They're teenagers having sex.
That's what you've seen. The Kenyan teenagers are, I don't even, oh my God. We're in the trenches.
There actually should be a research on
We're in
like
the trenches.
STDs and teens.
That's the other thing. There's a gap with research on STDs and STIs. There is a gap because it's not the health, the economic implication of STDs is actually equally as high as that one of AIDS. Cost of treatment, cost of reintegration is high. But how comes it's not a big conversation like that?
No research.
Yeah, very, very limited research on it.
It's horrible because
young people account for the bigger percentage of new HIV infections every single time there's.
And we're not even asking them, what's happening?
Just this year, 25,000 new cases. Just this year.
This year is not even done.
Yeah. And you're wondering, something I usually say is, so who do you think these 25,000 people are? They live in mass. They live in mass.
See aliens.
Exactly.
Ni watu.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say this to you, from woman to woman, girl to girl, urge for a condom. In any sexual relation that you willingly want to partake in, have a condom by your side. Like, if possible, have a kit. Like, I have a friend of mine who, I think at this point she's a doctor. She's got everything in that damn thing, man. Except from the dildos, man. she's got condoms in there. She's got PEP. She's got, and I mean that's PEP? Actually, crazy. But one thing I love about that is she's prepared, like, for whatever outcome, and you don't necessarily have to have the whole cabinet, but just that condom, And I think like there's free condoms, isn't there? Like the government does give free condoms. Yeah. Sure, I know. Sure,
very
does.
Good.
Yeah. So, and do not be coerced into raw sex by anybody, regardless if you know them or not, regardless if you love them or care about them or trust them. People out here trusted people and still, got stabbed in the back. Yeah, it's crazy out here. But urge for safe sex, and especially when intoxication, because I've been there. I struggle with alcoholism. When you're intoxicated, tafadhali, please just have that. If you need to hold it so please, do not. 5 minutes of pleasure will give you too much anxiety for the rest of your life, and it's not worth it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, I wanted to ask you guys, how do the shows we watch affect how we see STDs? Yeah, especially like from the Western side. Yeah.
There was this, takes me back to time. I just can't remember what the name of the series was. It was one of these teen movies. I know everyone really loved those
Coming of age.
Yeah, coming of age kind of movies, and I remember the girl was 17. In the Western world, they call it like you're finishing high school, and
sophomore, I think.
yeah, like sophomore or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And she had started dating this guy who was very famous in school and everything. One of those guys that they portray as the most handsome
the
guy in the whole
jocks.
school.
Yeah.
No one can get them. And then she was one of those low girls in school, according to Beauty. And she started having a relationship with this guy behind everyone's back. They were hiding. Of course, he was hiding her. But he gave her genital herpes. Okay. And this movie really shifted to a lot of shame being put on her. And she was bullied so much when it came out in school. And everyone kept telling her, you knew who he was. So why did you go with him? You see, there's nothing about this guy being told, you are responsible. You knew this about yourself. You are at a position of power when it came to this particular relationship. You should have been more responsible, blah, 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 blah. Everything was her. She was called promiscuous. She was called a whore. She was bullied. It really was not a really good depiction of how shame works around men and women when it comes to STIs. It definitely did not make me stay away from men. It should have been a lesson. but that's one of the very clear depictions I remember of STDs from movies back then. Yeah.
I saw chlamydia being talked about like it's nothing. I don't know what show it was. I think it was called Blue Mountain. Like, it was too normalized. Like, oh, he gave me chlamydia. Like, she gave me chlamydia. Like, hello. Where do we care? Where's the part where we care? Yeah. So desensitization, I think for me, it was like, whoa, it's too normal. And I don't know if like it gave me a don't care attitude in a sense.
It would.
It would. Because like just getting herpes, just getting chlamydia is like, I just go get some antibiotics and it's over. Herpes are antibiotics. Bruh. Yeah.
For me, I'm an actress and a film enthusiast. So I watched a bunch of movies as a kid, right? Unfortunately, that scared me more because every movie was like, the worst thing that could happen is get an STD. So they'd be like, oh no, he gave me this. And then I would see how the film would like have every character ostracize the one character that caught something. Or like, I had this mentality that every prostitute has STDs. So like in my head, prostitute translate sexually active. Sexually active, everyone has STDs.
Yeah.
So I was out here walking around thinking, how are you guys still sleeping with each other when everyone
has STDs? You know, bro. That thought process is what even had me in the VCT center.
Yeah.
Like, I had to imagine just because I've had unprotected sex, like I have HIV or I have STD. It doesn't mean, it's not entirely the case, but just to prevent it from happening, it's good to take it as an act of self-love and know your status.
Yeah,
but it doesn't mean just because you have, you're dying.
No.
Yeah, you're okay. You're okay. You live.
Yeah, you will. You definitely will.
There's a shorty on Twitter who talked about she's HIV positive and she's very beautiful. She was saying, I'm HIV positive, but anytime a man wants to sleep with me raw, I let him because your sexual responsibility is your. I was like, what?
Put that on a billboard.
And I see that.
Put that on a billboard.
What? She did
That
not
should
even
be an
start.
advert.
She was like, yeah, why are you sleeping with the people you don't know? She said, get in
Who
the
is
clinic.
she? I have to play that for my brothers.
And you know, she's so gorgeous. Like, I would have fallen for it. Girl. What? I was just like, what? And then you can't even be mad at her because what are you doing sleeping with people?
For
you
real
don't know?
though.
Technically.
That's a good question.
And I mean, I really can't blame her because bringing it to what role do men play when it comes to our sexual health? I don't know why, but it's just termed as a woman's responsibility. Hey, but women, we have suffered. Kila kitu yani
Your problem.
Can somebody breathe?
So Laba, I will drag you with me. This is a me problem now.
But they never let a guy go ever. I was like, be crazy, crash out, go to his house and be like, excuse me, you don't want to talk to me, let me talk to your mom. He gave me chlamydia.
Exactly.
Yeah. So when did you put up a cake?
We are bringing in the whole family. Everyone is coming.
Everybody's coming down.
And I'm so sad because we let men get away with so much. We do, man.
I want to be a man in my next I'm not even kidding.
Hey, actually, I was so shocked when one told me he learned recently, like last year, that women are scared of picky guys. Like he was walking with a girl and started wondering, why is she nervous? And then he was like, oh, you guys are usually scared of the picky guys. I'm like,
What the picky
18.
guy?
At
Oh,
18 is when you're finding this out. Girl, I've been scared. I've been terrified.
they're not in our world.
yeah.
They're not in our world. Yeah.
How is it, Lewa?
How is he?
How is it, Lewa?
Hey. And a lot of men actually are carriers. And one thing I was shocked. I met actually a decent person. He's in my circle now. He's actually a decent man. He doesn't have raw sex. He has the whole condom thing. He's very selective with who he allows in. And I was just like, somebody cooked here. Some mother. Could I like
Bob
it.
the Builder.
And he opened my eyes to men actually are capable of doing. It's just that what I call lazy.
Exactly. I cannot sit down and like an adult man tell me ameshindwa kuelewa kitu.
Yeah.
Ama ameshindwa. You already see yourself better than me on basis of being a man. Can you please act more intelligent?
Manze.
At the very least, if you're gonna play this game, play the whole thing. Be the one who's taking accountability. Be the one who's like, babe, since STDs are here, they exist. How about we just go, we get tested regularly?
Yeah.
It's not that I don't trust you, but I'm looking out for myself. Si tunafanya hivyo na pesa. Mnakuanga na joint bank account na mtu umepatana tu juzi, but you're not able to like
Testing is
take
where you draw the
testing
line.
is where you draw the line? No.
Yeah.
You know what I've realized? I don't even think it's ignorance. I think it's a self hate. It's a self disrespect. There's no love working with, like, if they've not healed. And it's not that they want to hurt you. They're just like, I don't care about myself, so might as well. Which is the basis of like, care about yourself
So that
so that you're able to care about others. Because definitely you can't put someone's life at risk. Kama hujipendi. You know what I mean? If you don't love yourself, you're going to put someone else at risk. So care about yourself first. Go get tested. Figure out your status. Take the necessary steps to protect yourself. And then now explore. You remember I could explore, and then you're later on
coming to regret.
I actually don't like that notion of like men not taking care of themselves. Najichunga kwani mimi ni shoga. Like, girl, go please. It's care for yourself.
He said facts. And for me, let it be known, I actually do believe that women are 100% responsible over their health. Babes, contraceptive on you. Tests on you. But now that we are speaking about the role of men in HIV, in generally taking care of the woman's sexual health, I think two things. One is the fact that we don't hold men accountable in anything, literally. You could go away from your kid for 15 years, you'd come back. Me as the mom, I'd tell you, you really just have to love your dad because he is your dad. With that kind of upbringing and with that kind of notion, then sometimes we live through life and some things just get into our subconscious. They become part of us. So a lot of men carry that into relationships as well, because humanly you only care about something so much if the consequences are going to affect you. So if I've seen men come make women pregnant, men come infect them, and no blame is ever put on me,
no shame.
what part of me would ever want to be responsible? Yeah. And I think because we speak about men leading in relationships so much, something that I've really been working on is defining for myself what leading feels like. What is this leading thing? You've just collected leading from your grandfather. Do you know your grandfather had 1,000 kettles?
Give us some
Please. Okay.
Yeah.
So I feel like leading, one of the ways for me that looks like leading is leading in a way to make us better in whatever aspect, and in this particular aspect is in the sexual health and the reproductive health. I did say that it is 100% my responsibility, but also men need to know that when you're coming up and you're saying I need to be respected, I'm leading this relationship, you're leading everything. You're leading in, did we have an argument? It's important for you to think, put your emotions back, think about how you're going to start this conversation and dissolve that particular argument. If you're leading, it's important for you to know that we're not ready for a kid right now. we are not trying to have the burden of STDs in our relationship. So what are we going to do about it? We are going to go get tested from time to time. Women listen more than men. That's a fact. I would literally come home. I tell my boyfriend, let's go get tested. He starts saying, and that comes from patriarchy. He starts saying, okay, why are we getting tested?
Yeah.
Did you do something?
Defensive.
But if a man comes and says, if it's something simple like, babe, I think we need to get a contraceptive, I'm more likely to listen than if it was coming from me to him. So for me, that's a really big role.
You've touched something very vital. They call themselves a leader without the leadership qualities. You know what I mean? If you're gonna be a leader, you lead by example. You're not just the leader. They want to say I'm the king of the house, but not do anything that a king does.
Not king does.
Please.
And leadership is not control.
Oh,
That is something I need to tattoo on my forehead. Leadership is not control. If I am to say I am a lead in a relationship, fine, that's okay. There's no problem. Shout out to all the women out there who are the lead. I don't stigmatize y'all. Y'all do what you want to do. But if, let's say, the man or the woman, whichever partner is the lead, please be the leader. Don't be controlling. Don't be, come home at 6 because I've said so. Sijui, what other random thing can you even say? I'm like trying to even think, what do people come up with?
I need fresh food
On the table. Don't dress like that. Don't ABCD. So when it comes even to the aspect of STD, when I say, why should we get tested or why should we use contraceptives? See, it's just us two. No, I should actually sit and think, if you're coming to me and you've brought this notion, why have you brought it up? You're concerned for us, you're concerned for yourself. How shall I take the correct steps forward? Not, nimekata. Chumi ndo mwanaume.
And I think control actually can be connected to sexually transmitted diseases within a relationship, because if the dynamic that we have is I cannot question anything that you do, means that in any case that you go outside, cheat on me,
I don't question.
We never have this conversation. I'm probably never even going through your phone, so I'm never even probably finding out that this is happening. Do you see how you're exposing yourself already to sexually transmitted infections because of this aspect of control in the relationship?
Leadership for me feels like guidance with empathy. That's what it should feel like, guidance. And then another thing is, whenever I brought up STDs with a man, it was immediately personal attack. They took it so personally. And I never understood that. Funny enough, when I speak with a woman and I'm like, something happens or, we're in danger, they always are curious to how can we solve this. For a man, it's like, how can you think I would have this? How do you dare you say I have this? Maybe it's you. I'm like, bro, I'm just trying to find out. Hey,
I'm just trying to lead, apparently.
Because, so when it comes to people in the, I feel like the male responsibility, also take charge of your health and care for you first and guide with empathy kindly. Hey,
Guidance with empathy. That's a good one.
Yeah. So you mentioned something at the beginning of the episode on kindergarten kids having sexual ed. Yeah. And what is some misinformation among kids and children, especially when it comes to assault, that we do not know about and we can explore? Yeah.
And on top of that, when it comes, talking about leadership, it's gotten me into this headspace of, parents. And I really advocate for children getting sex education. As soon as they can understand what I am saying, as soon as there's mama, papa, whatever going on, I need this kid to understand, this is my vagina, this is my penis. There's no shame around these words. And I can name them so that they cannot get assaulted. Or at least when they do, they can speak about it. You know how many children go under the radar or even contract diseases or have things happen to them because they can't tell you what's happening. Yeah, najua tu dudu.
That breaks my heart.
Uncle.
That stuff breaks my heart.
Uncle alishika dudu.
Which uncle?
Dudu mgani? You know, in your head, he has held some insect somewhere and they were playing. But there was actually something that happened and they can't really articulate that to you. And also there's a lot of shame around it from childhood. Jificha,
Yeah. if I catch them, let me tell you right now, if I catch you a mother hiding a kid that's been abused, we'll deal with you perpendicularly. I'm so serious.
Yeah, actually,
The man is abusing the child and she's what of a cheese?
Actually,
Hey.
that really messed up
Shame.
a girl I knew in high school. She got assaulted by her teacher as like really early on, and that messed with her mental health when she was older. Like now in high school, she got really depressed. She started cutting. Not started. She had been cutting. Self-neglect to the extreme. She wouldn't bathe. She wouldn't do anything. In the end, she transferred. I hope she's doing okay right now. But I just saw the weight of what that does to someone, and it angers me in a way that I cannot explain. In a way that's just, it's hellfire. It's on site, genuinely. If I find somebody who's assaulted a child, or anyone actually, if you've assaulted anyone, man, woman, I don't care, assault her.
Perpendicularly.
Tell you guys, the death penalty will help. That's the solution.
So like, I really advocate for, if it's a really young child, there's some things you can't tell them immediately. They won't really understand the concept of sex so well. But let's say ni mtoto mdogo, you'll be like, hi, so these are your parts. These are the names. That don't let anyone touch them. Only mom.
Yeah.
Because you need to clean them.
Yeah.
Only mom or auntie if you're in a situation where you can't really be caring for the child all the time. And then as you get older, you tell them, okay, so there's a thing that happens where two people love each other very much, very coded, but still there. And as you get older, even high school, tell them about STDs, tell them about contraceptives, tell them the lies that are in there. And I'm happy that I was able to get something similar to that. And actually, I got a sort of culture shock when I realized other people didn't get that. So like somebody would be old and they wouldn't know the parts of the vagina. I'm like, why wouldn't you know? Why would it? Yeah. And realize, oh my God, the people who get to like university and don't know what a clitoris is.
Yeah.
They don't know the cervix. They don't know the cervix has nerves. And so it just, I really stand on it for like sex education for kids.
Yeah.
From day one, from day one, from as soon as they can understand you, just start it.
Yeah, I think there's a lot that can be prevented with promotion of sex ed, because one myth that in Kenya currently we've really been trying to push for comprehensive sexuality education in schools for adolescents and for young people, but of course part of the stakeholders is religious leaders, is parents, and the thing of course that they're saying is that comprehensive sexuality education will encourage them to have sex. But the thing they're not taking into accountability is we need more people to make informed decisions. And the only way you're making informed decisions is by having information. And this, my God, all of this just ties back to shame. Because, like in my county, I come from Samburu, recently it was 50% of the girls below 18 have been pregnant at least once. We are seeing the statistics, right? But no, we will continue burying our heads in the sand and say that we are encouraging sex when we're pushing for comprehensive sexuality education, which is not what is actually happening. There's a lot of conversations that still need to be had at the community level, at the family level, when it comes to what really is sex education, and just admitting that when everyone is having sex,
everyone feels things.
Everyone really just it's a really big part.
And even when you're trying to like ensure abstinence, let them know what they're abstaining from. Surely you would get somebody, they're told abstain from sex, right? And then this dude comes up with the idea of oral. Technically, they don't know they can get anything from that. They don't know they can catch an STD or anything from that. So they're like, so I can just do this, and since it's not penetration, I'm still okay, I'm still pure, whatever. And then they catch something, they can't speak about it because they know, let's say whoever's in charge of them will not understand what they did.
Yeah.
And they'll tell them, you went and had sex, or like full-on sex now, like penetrative sex. So there's that sense of like, with education comes now, as you said, informative decisions. If I know there's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A to C is a bad idea and the consequences of everything else, I can make a good decision. It's not like I'll learn about sex and then I'll be like hanging off the ceilings, getting every person I just come here. You know?
Come, I teach you.
come I show you what I was told by Madam so and so. You know, and that's something I really wish people would debunk, the older generations now. Please, if like when you told your child about sugar, did they go drink like the whole thing? See, you showed them how to like ration.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah,
you
I get what
you.
you're saying.
You showed them, oh, you can take sugar in your tea, but don't be scooping it out this jar every 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's the same for sex. You can tell them, it's there. You can do it. It's a bad idea now, or there's a way you can do it. If you take the bad route, there's consequences.
Yeah.
And that's I feel how you should be structured.
Yeah. But it's also really hard to have sex conversations with your kids. I would just want to throw that in. It's quite hard because me personally, I remember I asked my mom when I was 21. I was like, "Mom, you've never wanted to know whether I've ever had sex." and then that, of course, that's because I am in the space of like women health and everything. So it's like, you've never wanted to know whether I've ever had sex. I should like, that's a really hard thing for me to ask you because I'm a mom. Then I was like, oh, okay, don't worry, I'm a virgin. Sorry, mom, I lied. I said, I'm a virgin, but just know it's not going to stay like that forever. And from that point, our sex ed conversations have really grown so much with my mom. Because I also had to kind of step up, which cannot be asked, of course, of a 10-year-old child. But both of us had to meet each other in the middle because even her, she's living in a society that has really internalized all of this shame, all of this throwing things under the carpet. So there's also really a big aspect of the social norms that we live within that might deter sexual education and stuff like that.
Crazy thing, I got like I think the first sex ed I ever got, first or second, was from my grandmother. We were doing this traditional African society style. She sat me down, gave me the talk of like, sex is ABCD, don't do it. Like, that's pretty much the premise. Don't do it, you can get a disease and you can get a kid. And you don't want either, right? Right. Bye.
Good conversation. Perfect.
Right.
I'm not going to get pregnant.
Go back into the exactly. Don't get pregnant. Got it.
I think the difference we can make right now is just being open about it in the circles we already have. Yeah, that's what I've been trying to do. Yeah,
it is so powerful.
it is.
It is so
You don't have to
powerful.
be. You don't have to be like the president and announce. You can just change the circle wherever you are. Okay. There's a lady who we're going to introduce her. She's called Violet, and she's developed this self-testing. She's trying to develop these self-testing kits so that we can eliminate shame and maybe even people who don't have that access to VCT centers. So I love that we're doing self-tests, especially for HIV. Like that was the best thing that ever happened, girls.
Yeah, that's actually great.
That was
because the idea of having to go to a center, I'm already scared of the person testing me. I'm already scared of every woman who can be the age of my mother. Anyone the age of my, like, I'm already scared. Yeah. So the idea that I can go home, have it on my own, go through the whole process, all the 7 stages of grief, and be like, okay, move forward.
it's not really real though.
Amekupeleka wapi?
Hey. Even there's one for HPV, imagine.
Yeah, and I think that might really step over so many barriers that are separating us from getting actual tests. Something like long lines. I remember you mentioned that you really stayed in line. Honestly, going to the hospital is like going to get your hair done and like your manicure. It's a full day. It's a full day thing, and that might really hold you back. Because most of the time we go to the hospital when we're almost dying of sickness.
It's sad.
Almost dying. Otherwise, I'm not really just trying to know what's up with my body. So I really love that she is coming up with an idea, something else that I think she's looking, or that particular idea is gonna solve. We have religious beliefs that hold us back as women from seeking such services. Some services are very personal. Like when you're doing like a HPV test or like a pap smear, they scrap off
It's painful, yeah.
nini on your cervix. So imagine you're like a Muslim woman, you are dressing in a hijab from up all the way till down, you're wearing socks, you're even wearing gloves. And you're supposed to go to the hospital and open your legs for someone to do like a swab. To make it worse, a man, it automatically means that we're having less women who are particularly religious going to seek these particular services. So yeah, I think that's a really great idea, and it's really gonna set us not back but opposite of that.
Ahead. Set us
Forward,
ahead.
yeah, set us ahead when it comes to diagnosis and everything. And diagnosis is a really big part of solving the STD issue.
You've actually reminded me of like so many jokes I've seen on TikTok or skits where people are like, you've gone for a pap smear, you've gone for a check, and it's just somebody opening a bag and everything is roughly
Oh,
shoved
yeah,
in
they have that camera now. You can
Yeah.
see the grainer. Yeah.
And I imagine if I'm able to do this at home,
Manze.
calmly, slowly,
Manze.
without beating and bruising the downstairs, please, the basement, leave it be. We don't have to disarrange everything down there. That would be actually great. So I'm really up.
I'm down for that.
Yeah.
She's doing beautiful stuff.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Violet.
Yeah.
For real though.
So as we wrap this up, I want to ask you both a question. If there's one thing you would tell every woman about their sexual health, what would it be?
I don't say that there is so much power in caring about your sexual health and your reproductive health. You have to look at it as self-care more than anything. More than it being a right, it has to come from the point of self-care, because then that means that you're going to be consistent with it and you're always going to be chasing quality. There is so much power that you hold within yourself that you're probably not utilizing right now. So you girl, get on your Zoom.
Get on your Zoom.
Get on your Zoom.
I would say, princess, suck out the shame, but put it in a ball and throw it. Get rid of it. Toss it as far as you can. And while you do, like, get a mirror. Look at yourself. Like, I mean yourself like your hoo-ha. Like, look at it. Check it out. Because there's so many people who actually can't. If I ask people to draw their vagina right now, there's different types. There's innies and outies, actually.
Yeah.
So there's so many people who've told them to draw, they can't draw. And it's a part of their body. But if you tell them to draw their foot, they can. So I would say, love yourself. Know yourself. Realize my existence is not shameful. Who I am from top to bottom is me. And I will not sit down and take a part of me and be like, ew, whatever, disgusting, gross. I have to hide it. Be able to love every single part of you. And once you are, you can blossom, like you can grow and blossom so much. And yeah, that's my takeaway. Just girl pop, have a you session. Like just, deconstruct that shame, deconstruct that disgust that it comes with. And if you are a listener here and you actually do have an STD, we love you. Continue to love yourself. Because there's a lot of that anger, bitterness, hate that you're gonna carry. I want you to be able to also grow past that. And yeah, that's what I have to say.
That was nice.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to add on that and say you're whole even after an STD. You're whole before even after how many sexual encounters you have. You're beautiful and you're loved, and your intuition is your biggest ally. Take care of your sexual reproductive health, and yeah, power to you. And with that discussion comes the end of this episode, and that has been
That's what she said.
Period. Please make sure to catch us on every social media platform as That's What She Said podcast for more conversations about women and our health and love for each other. Yeah.
That's what she said.